What we witnessed last night, many people call a debate. But in my mind, it was a date. It was a bromance. Because Coach Walz, Governor Walz, I think could have done a lot better showing just how extreme J.D. Vance and Trump are. So I think he left a lot on the table. Stay with me as I react to that debate. Hello, everybody. I am attorney Augustus Corbett, one half of the Defiant Lawyers. Each and every week, we bring you at least one legal analysis of some trending story regarding politics, policies, personalities, or pop culture, so that you'll be empowered to defy this unjust legal system and to nullify systemic racism. If that interests you, please like, share, comment, subscribe, and click the bell so you'll get notified every time we upload one of these powerful and informative videos. Before we get started, please go to Amazon.com, get a copy of my book, Education and Justice, if you have an African-American son in public school. Trust me, they are doing things to harm African-American male students that you probably don't know anything about. But in my book, I tell you all about them, and I tell you what you need to do in order to protect your son. So go get a copy of the book now. So yes, I consider what I witnessed last night to have been more of a date than a debate. I mean, those guys were so nice and sweet. And, you know, J.D. Vance is a very smooth talking, slick person who is able to tell lies on the drop of a dime. And I know that really pleases Trump. Really pleases him, because Trump, if you're going to be in his good graces, you got to lie. You got to lie. You got to be willing to break the law, right? If you're not willing to do that, then he will kick you to the curb and try to destroy your career. For example, Mike Pence. Mike Pence refused to do what Trump wanted him to do, and it cost him, right? It cost him. J.D. Vance is that guy. He will do it. He is a much more polished version of Trump. I mean, he's a Yale-trained lawyer who just has this silver tongue, right? And this big smile. As he's lying and ripping you to shreds, here's that big smile on his face. And on the other side, we saw this affable Coach Walz, very likable guy, extremely likable. Really reminds me of a high school coach. I mean, who just has a good heart, just a simple, down-to-earth guy. And, you know, again, somebody very likable. But last night, that was not what the American people needed. Last night, the American people needed to see exactly who Vance is and who Trump is. Because otherwise, Vance's lies, his slick talking, his smooth talking, his extreme views will all be more normalized. And I think that's what happened last night. Because of that bromance that we witnessed, the American people really didn't see exactly who J.D. Vance is. Now, I'm not being too harsh on Coach Walz, because again, he's a likable guy. But there were many things that I think he should have mentioned and really pushed. Now, he finished strong. When they got to January 6th, he finished strong, but he started out really weak. And again, there are some things that I believe that he should have definitely dove into and stuck with. All right. Things like, for example, that comment that J.D. Vance made about, quote, a bunch of childless cat ladies running the country. I mean, that is despicable. What type of man would say that about women who are not mothers? a bunch of childless cat ladies? I mean, that's just crazy. And Coach Walz also failed to mention that J.D. Vance admitted that he would continue to create that Haitian immigrant story. I mean, he admitted on national television that he made it up and that he would continue to create that type of story. Coach Walz also failed to mention that the mayor and the governor of Ohio, the mayor of Springfield, Ohio, the governor of Ohio, both disputed Trump and Vance's claims about the Haitian immigrants, right? And I think the coach should have also just really pointed out very strongly that is flat out racism, the way that they have treated those Haitian immigrants. Again, Trump and Vance are extreme. They're very racist. They are extremely MAGA, extremely right-wing, and all of that should have come out. I mean, the coach should have, instead of being affable and allowing J.D. Vance to say whatever, the coach should have really leaned into that. I mean, really leaned into it, because the American people needed to see it. That was a huge stage for J.D. Vance, and I'm concerned that he was able to swoon the American people. And a lot of American people perhaps walked away from that saying, hey, he is a nice guy. He's well-spoken. He complimented Coach Walz a couple of times, so he's not as bad as we think. He's certainly no Donald Trump. So that could have very well caused many more American people to endear J.D. Vance, and that concerns me, right? But not only that, man, the lies that Vance told. I mean, he lied after lie after lie after lie. I mean, tremendous whoppers. I mean, just outright whoppers. For example, he said that Kamala Harris was or is Biden's border czar, I think is the term they use. That's false. That never happened. Biden never appointed Kamala Harris his border czar. Never. I think from what I read, my research says that he asked her to basically look into how to fix things down on the border. What is the root cause of things from what I read? But he never said, okay, this is your issue. You are the country's border czar. You go and deal with that issue. That never happened. That's a lie. And Vance once again disparaged the Haitian immigrants last night by continuing to repeat this false narrative that they eat dogs and cats, that they're in the country illegally. Most of those folks are in the country legally, and there is no proof whatsoever that they have eaten dogs and cats. That's just a stereotype, a racist stereotype of black people. That's racist. All right? He also said Haitian immigrants are causing the housing crisis. That's false. We know what caused the housing crisis. It is the result of Trump mishandling COVID. I'll continue to say it. Trump inherited a great economy from Obama, but he mishandled COVID, which caused the economy to tank. And houses were no longer being built. There was a great demand for houses. Prices, inflation went through the roof. Investors started buying up houses. It definitely was not Haitian immigrants. That is just flat out lying. Are we no longer concerned about our national leaders being serial liars? Has Trump caused us to become, immune to that? Has he normalized that? I think that's where we are. Okay? He also claimed falsely that the Biden administration gave Iran $100 billion. He said that last night. That is not true. What the Biden administration actually did was caused about $6 billion to be transferred from South Korea to Qatar for humanitarian purposes. But Based on my research, Iran still hasn't gotten that $6 billion, especially and because of the October 7th, 2023 attack on Israel. So this repeated lie about Biden releasing hundreds of billions of dollars to Iran is completely false, totally false, right? Vance also claimed, believe it or not, that Trump did do a peaceful transfer of power. That is crazy. I mean, we saw what happened with our own eyes. There was no peaceful transfer. I don't know why he would say such a thing. He also said that Trump told the protesters on January 6th to protest peacefully. Well, he did at the end of the speech, but that was after he took that speech to tell those lies, that big lie especially, and get those people so fired up and worked up that he knew the outcome. So him saying in the speech, when many of them had already walked down to the Capitol building to do it peacefully, but you got to be strong to take your country back. I mean, come on. Come on. Trump knew to say that in the speech so that he could have that as a fallback. But he did not advocate for a peaceful transfer of power. No, he tried to do a coup. He put in place an insurrection. And then Vance had the nerve to claim last night in the debate that Trump saved Obamacare. I mean, does he think we're idiots? We know that Trump spent his administration trying to repeal Obamacare. And do you all remember John McCain came into the Senate and gave that thumbs down vote?
Mr. Peters.
That was when basically Trump's efforts to repeal and gut Obamacare, that was it. And for Vance then to come back and say that Trump saved Obamacare, I mean, he is just flat out, totally, absolutely lying right in our faces to millions of Americans who know better. He also claimed that Trump's tax cut, that $1.2 trillion tax cut that caused the debt to skyrocket, he tried to argue last night that it benefited middle-class people. We know that's not true. That tax cut benefited very wealthy people. We know that. We're not dumb. Vance also claimed that the cost of prescription drugs has increased. That's false, according to CBS News. The man also refused to say that he would have certified the votes had he been in Mike Pence's situation. In my strong opinion, that should be an automatic disqualifier. That alone should disqualify him from becoming the vice president of the United States. But again, I'm just concerned that the American people have become accustomed to and okay with our national leaders looking us in our eyes and lying to us. I'm just concerned about that. And again, I'm also concerned that Coach Walz did not last night do enough to show the American people just how radical, extreme, and racist Trump and J.D. Vance are. I can see J.D. Vance right now with that smile, and he looks and sounds harmless. Oh, he got the opportunity last night to really show that to the American people. But it's a facade. It is a facade. I really wish that Governor Walz would have pushed back harder to show that J.D. Vance is nothing more than a kinder, smarter, more articulate version of Donald Trump. That's who he is, which makes him much, much more dangerous. And he has become now, I believe, the new face of MAGA. I believe he is now their leader. because Trump is on his way out, right? This man is 78, 79 years old. He's on his way out. We hope that he does not win this election in about 30 days so that he can be put out to pasture. But that doesn't mean our problems are over with MAGA, because I think they found a new guy. And last night, I think their new leader, J.D. Vance, picked up some new followers. That's what concerns me. So Coach Walz is a very nice guy, but I wish that he would have pushed back a lot stronger and harder on J.D. Vance. All right? All right, so listen, you all go to iwillvote.com, and there you can make sure that you're registered to vote. You can make sure that your name has not been purged from the voter roll of your state. So make sure that you go there. iwillvote.com is the website. iwillvote.com. 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 All right. I'm saying it over and over because I really want you to go to that website and make sure you're all ready to vote. And also help your friends, your family, your neighbors, and so forth get registered to vote if they're not registered to vote. Okay? Because we got to engage in impact voting. You've heard me use that term several times now. It means to vote overwhelmingly because we know that Trump is cheating. We know he's getting electors in place. He's getting rules changed. I just read a couple of days ago that the Justice Department has filed suit because states are out here changing their election laws just before the election, which is a violation of federal law. It is a violation of U.S. Supreme Court cases. So we know he is cheating. So we need to vote overwhelmingly so that his cheating cannot and will not steal this election. These people are desperate. Okay? All right, so thank you for watching this video. That's my reaction to the vice president debate or date, whatever you want to call it. All right? I am Attorney Augustus Corbett, one half of the Defiant Lawyers. Thank you for tuning in, and until the next time, as always, peace.